Time for Nick to break out his updated MVP ladder. Nick, a lot's happened since we last saw it. LeBron's out with that high ankle sprain, Embiid out with a knee injury. So take us through your updated list.
All right, one caveat again. These are not projected finishes. This is if the season throws today, where we are with the MVP ladder. 9 names on the list, expanded from 8 last time. Start at the bottom. Number 9, Kawhi Leonard. Good stats, good team, but let's be honest, it's been disappointing, and he knows it, which is why he was sounding the alarm last week. Number 8, surging, Luka Doncic. Since February 1, 43% from 3, averaging 39-9 since February 1 for a Mavs team that all of a sudden looks like it's itself. James Harden moving up the list as well, tied a career high with assists last night. James Harden leading the NBA in assists. He has been spectacular for the Brooklyn Nets. What hurts him, of course, is he's played for 2 teams this year, and one of those 2 teams he napalmed on the way out. All right, number 6, next group of guys. Number 6 on the MVP ladder, Giannis. Giannis's numbers are almost identical to last year, but the defensive numbers aren't as good, the team's record isn't as good, and it's going to be very hard to win 3 straight MVPs. For those reasons, he's 6th. Chris Paul, last night's a great example of Chris Paul. He had 8 points and 9 assists last night, but was a plus 17. His team is excellent, but his counting stats are so pedestrian compared to everyone else, he could fall out of the top 5, but I really do think his value is unquestionably top 5. Joel Embiid. At this point, the games missed has really started to hurt him. He's played 31. The next fewest on this list is 36. Most of the guys have played close to 40 or more than 40. So Embiid, the reason he's not 1 or 2 is purely because of games missed. Now your top 3. Dame, Jokic, and LeBron. Dame, CJ McCollum's missed 25 games, and Damian Lillard has the Blazers' position potentially move into the top 4 in the West. He's averaging 31 and 8 on the year. The Joker, there's a reason he's the Vegas favorite. He once again had another triple-double last night. His numbers this year are out of this world, and with LeBron now going to miss extended time, you know he's going to fall down the list. Why is LeBron still number 1? Because LeBron's actually played as many games or more games than everyone on this list except for the Joker and Dame. And because when LeBron got hurt, they were the 2nd best team in the league record-wise. He was clearly the best player. So the reason there's an asterisk is LeBron's going to fall precipitously down this if we do it in 2 weeks, and he's missed a handful more games. But up to this point, he's only missed 3 games on the season. So there's your MVP ladder.
Like a mighty phoenix rising from the ashes, the mighty Phoenix Suns rise from the ashes. Chris Paul needs to move up so he finishes top 3 in MVP for the following reasons. 1, these guys are only 2 games out of the number 1 seed. And the poor Jazz are struggling 500 in their last 10 games. And look at their upcoming schedule, Nick. Orlando, Toronto, Charlotte, Atlanta, Chicago, OKC, Houston, and then the Jazz again. Hey, good news, Jazz. You will be in 2nd place by the time you play the Suns. The Suns will be in 1st place. Reason number 2, historical precedent. And I know every MVP has scored at least 23 points. Except Steve Nash, Suns point guard. There's some historical precedents for it. And Nick, reason number 3, and this is less of a point, more of a question. The ultimate conundrum. Here's the conundrum. Chris Paul's counting stats, which you mentioned. He's 60th in points. He's 97th in rebounds. Give him a break. 5'11". He's 5th in assists, and his PER is 37. So here's the conundrum, Nick. What if playing winning basketball and making the lowly Phoenix Suns the number 1 team in the West, the way to make that happen is by not packing the stat sheet?
Correct.
And how are voters supposed to deal with that?
That's right. It's the original Isaiah Thomas problem. Go look at Isaiah Thomas's counting stats. People will think he's not one of the 40 greatest players ever. In reality, he's one of the 20 greatest players ever. He won at Indiana, he won in Detroit, and he did it without any other superstars because he was the ultimate point guard. Chris Paul is the modern version of that. But that's also a reason why Isaiah Thomas never came close to winning a league MVP. because at the end of the year, there are going to be other guys that also contribute to winning who double him up in some of these counting stats. Listen, I think he's top 5. I thought he was third last year, and people gave me hell for it when he was with OKC. I think he adds as much to your team winning as any player in the league other than LeBron still to this day. But I think the counting stats are going to hurt him so much that it's going to be hard for him to really get in this conversation, Jenna.
Makes sense.
But I agree with almost everything you just said.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.